From large cities to remote rural areas, hypermarkets are a key part of our lives. More than just places to pick up some groceries, these stores are a food lifeline for millions of people every day.
When it comes to supermarkets, everyone goes shopping. So it's about giving consumers what they want.
To satisfy these consumers, a nation's supermarket sector may include tens of thousands of stores, hundreds of thousands of employees, and be worth hundreds of billions. How do these giants keep their shelves stocked? The answer lies in a complex logistics system specifically designed for food products that runs one of the world's most extensive distribution networks.
Supermarket chains rely on a flawless logistics operation.
If logistics fail, there's nothing on the shelves.
At the heart of this extraordinary system are the sprawling logistics centers. Thousands of tons of groceries pass through this gigantic infrastructure every day.
A single logistics center is a hub for several supermarkets. The central storage point that holds stock for the entire network it supplies.
To grasp the scope of this colossal organization, we will delve into the system's inner workings with an exclusive close-up view of Intermarché, one of Europe's leading supermarket chains. Every day, this logistics center meets the challenge of shipping over 2 million packages to its 2,300 sales outlets. A feat made possible through cutting-edge technology in ultra-modern warehouses.
We can now process 80,000 packages one day and 160,000 the next.
Sophisticated machines, such as tunnel readers and automatic storage and retrieval systems, can automatically execute tasks at high speed.
So at the start of the day, the machine has all the data to know exactly what quantities are expected.
These are pretty impressive machines because they're fast, they're very tall, and they lift a lot of weight. Hauling a 1.2-ton pallet up to a height of 35 meters while traveling many, many miles is impressive and requires very special equipment.
In a race against time, the unheralded, heroic teams of order pickers, maintenance technicians, and planners work around the clock to ensure a constant flow of goods to the hypermarkets.
It's a far cry from Tintin in America, where beef goes into a factory and comes out the other end as corned beef. Quite the opposite, in fact.
How do retailers take delivery of millions of tons of goods every day? How do they manage to meet such high demand while complying with strict health and safety regulations? From the warehouse to the shelves of the biggest hypermarkets, let's explore the curious and fascinating journey of the food that ends up on our plates. For over 60 years, supermarkets have been redefining consumers' food shopping habits. Today, pushing a cart through the aisles of a hypermarket has become an everyday activity that 70% of people in France undertake every week. The number of customers is on the rise and currently stands at nearly 10 million a day. To cope with this massive influx and offer thousands of food products in a single location, supermarket chains have an impressive logistical arsenal at their disposal.
Supermarket chains count on flawless logistics to ensure that they have the right product in the right place, with the right quality, at the right price, in their aisle.
When people go to a supermarket or hypermarket, they want to find full shelves and the products they're looking for.
To meet consumer expectations, retailers need to ensure that every product is correctly handled, sorted, and ready for safe distribution. It's a real strategic challenge that begins very early in the morning. Here, Manager Aurore and her team are making the final logistical adjustments in a long supply chain, which ends here on the shelves of this gigantic store.
We try to meet the consumer's needs, to put the products we want to sell in front of them, and we try to make it as easy as possible for customers to find their way around the store and waste as little time shopping as possible.
When the store opens, none of the 3,000 items on offer to customers should be missing from the shelves. To make sure that's the case, stock levels are constantly monitored.
When a product leaves the store, it is scanned at checkout and immediately deducted from the stock. So if we have, say, 6 boxes of eggs and we sell 1, we have 5 left in stock and the computer will make the necessary order.
To avoid stock shortages, nearly 1,200 orders are placed every day. That's to say almost 7,500 a week. The constant replenishment of such a large volume of goods requires meticulous organization. So how do retailers guarantee the necessary logistical efficiency? To find out, we need to take a look behind the scenes at the hypermarket's logistics facilities. Out of sight from consumers, these state-of-the-art platforms are the key to the smooth running of retail outlets. Like nerve centers, these facilities supply several hypermarkets in the same geographical area. Every supermarket chain has dozens of them scattered around the country. They play a key role in the flow of goods.
For supermarkets, the delivery perimeters are based on catchment areas. A warehouse delivers to between 100 and 200 outlets, and the density of those outlets dictates the number of warehouses required.
So a single logistics center will ultimately become a supply hub for several supermarkets, with the aim of having a central stock to supply the entire network it needs to provide for.
So how are these logistics hubs able to handle thousands of tons of goods every day? We're heading for the Brittany region, to the small commune of Herbray, near Rennes, which is home to one of these juggernauts. Owned by the Intermarché chain, out of sight from the general public, this site is dedicated to supplying 170 sales outlets. It covers a colossal area of some 25 hectares, the equivalent of 26 soccer pitches. These warehouses are the backbone of the supermarket industry, stocking all the products on display on supermarket shelves, despite the many hurdles to be overcome.
Herbray is a base for dry, fresh, and frozen products, plus fruit and vegetables. So fruit and vegetables is simple. It covers everything you might find either in your fruit bowl or on your shelves. Dry goods are all the things you find in your kitchen. Fresh is everything in your fridge. Frozen is everything you find in your deep freeze.
4 main families of products that must be preserved in a way that meets food safety standards. To meet these guidelines, the center is divided into 4 distinct zones, each maintained at a different temperature. First are the products stored at room temperature. Fruits and vegetables are processed at between 4 and 8 degrees Celsius. Fresh produce is stored at 3 degrees. And finally, frozen products at minus 18 degrees.
These centers bring together all our activities and product types. So you have all 4 temperatures under one roof, which also makes it possible to deliver large volumes to stores and improve service to sales outlets.
But before they can supply the sector's 170 outlets, the logistics centers must first take delivery of the goods. This first stage is key, as products are received from suppliers. It is the first essential link in the chain, a process that demands ultra-smooth coordination.
Suppliers play a crucial role in replenishing our outlets, since in the retail sector, we don't actually process products. We receive them from suppliers and ship them to our sales outlets.
Here at the Herbray Center, which is operational 24/7, up to 160 trucks discharge their goods every day. To avoid traffic jams, every arrival is meticulously planned.
We schedule deliveries to slot smoothly into our routine. You don't just turn up at the logistics center whenever you feel like it. It has to be at a predetermined time. Late deliveries are very disruptive. Trucks are kept waiting, and it upsets the balance of activity between time slots. So transport punctuality is extremely important.
To anticipate the arrival of supplier trucks, precise schedules are drawn up. Each product family has a dedicated delivery slot, starting with fruit and vegetables. The teams in this area begin work at 4 o'clock in the morning as they gear up to take deliveries. As soon as they arrive, a race against time begins. These foodstuffs are among the most perishable and fragile in the supermarket sector and require immediate attention to guarantee their freshness and quality.
These are delicate products, so our aim is to ensure that fruit and vegetables arrive in as fresh a condition as possible.
We have a very short waiting time here at the center, with the aim of controlling freshness and getting products into stores as quickly as possible, in as fresh a condition as possible.
It means that orders placed at 9 a.m. will be available in a sales outlet by 6 a.m. the following day.
Before being shipped to hypermarkets, the 160 tons of products delivered each morning must first pass a series of rigorous tests. This quality control, unseen by the general public, is supervised by Antoine, who handles deliveries. As soon as the goods arrive on the unloading dock, he examines them carefully and grades the deliveries. A thorough assessment to ensure that the fruit and vegetables meet quality standards at all sales outlets.
As soon as a product arrives, we check it for quality, size, and origin to ensure it meets standards and everything is legal in terms of traceability and product maturity, and check for signs of mold or decomposition. Then we either accept or reject the goods.
In case of fruit and vegetables, quality control is all about sampling to check the quality of the produce.
To be sold in hypermarkets, fruit and vegetables must meet specific criteria. In the event of non-compliance, the goods are immediately rejected and returned to the grower. Today, Antoine reveals the nature of the checks he carries out on each new delivery.
So this is French kiwi fruit. We check its appearance, make sure it is healthy and firm, and see if there's any damaged product in the package.
After taking a sample of the kiwi fruit, Antoine measures firmness using a special tool, the penetrometer.
We check firmness with what's called a penetrometer. First, we remove some skin to access the flesh, then go in to see how ripe it is. Check the reading. 3 for firmness, and for kiwi fruit, we need to be between 1 and 4. So we're good. We're in the range.
The next test is designed to check sugar content.
We cut one open, squeeze out a few drops, and then the equipment checks the sugar content. And here the reading is 17. The reference is at least 12. So our product quality here is very good indeed. A high reading like that is excellent.
Once approved, this batch of kiwi fruit joins the other 350 fruit and vegetable references in the storage area, from where they will be selected for future supermarket orders. This new stage is handled by 16 pickers using pallet trucks. The equipment allows them to load up to 45 cases of goods in a record time of 10 minutes. In a 24-hour period, the teams in this area of the warehouse can ship between 15,000 and 25,000 articles like this. While the methods used to prepare these orders are highly efficient, logistics-wise, they are hardly new. In fact, they're similar to those used when the very first hypermarket was created. On June 15, 1963, France's first hypermarket opened in the outskirts of Paris. This new retail concept, straight from the USA, brought together the full range of everyday food products under one roof. It was a revolution for consumers who previously needed to go to specialist stores to do their shopping.
In the 60s, there was a desire to find the full range of products under one roof. Later on, hypermarkets were set up, and the large supermarket chains grew rapidly.
The success of this new model radically changed consumer habits. Small local shops were gradually disappearing. Between 1970 and 1990, the number of supermarkets and hypermarkets shot up from 2,500 to over 7,000 in France alone. To meet the exponential growth of customer needs, the industry had no choice but to modernize its logistics.
Consumers were becoming increasingly demanding, particularly in terms of the choice and diversity of products. As the number of product references to be stored and prepared rapidly grew, the old-style logistics in warehouses were no longer sufficient to meet the needs of supermarket chains. Logistics had to be reinvented to meet the accelerating pace of change in terms of the number of product references and the speed at which they had to be delivered to sales outlets.
The early 1980s marked a turning point in logistics as information technology transformed warehouse inventory management, making it faster, more accurate, and more efficient. But a new challenge lay ahead. In 1984, a health and safety revolution shook the sector with the introduction of use-by dates. A first-of-its-kind regulation that would permanently reshape consumer habits.
Consumers certainly do their research. They often look at the dates on packaging and go for the longest shelf life.
To offer products with a longer shelf life, the supply chain needed to adapt with regard to one particular type of food, which is fresh produce. These are the foodstuffs that need to be consumed the fastest. So to maximize shelf life, the supply chain was sped up with the introduction of a new system known as just-in-time delivery.
The advantage of just-in-time delivery is that products aren't held in stock. As soon as they arrive from the supplier, within 24 hours at most, they're on the shelves in the store.
In other words, when sales outlets place their orders with us, we place an order with the suppliers. They produce the goods, deliver to us, and we immediately dispatch the orders to maximize the number of days before the best before date, and optimize the outlet's capacity to sell them onto consumers. Likewise, consumers benefit from as long a shelf life as possible to keep the products in their refrigerators.
What are the logistical challenges involved in getting these fresh products to hypermarket shelves more quickly? To gauge the full extent of the operation, we take you deep into the supermarket reactor core, where hundreds of thousands of these highly perishable products are managed and dispatched every day. Our journey takes us to Roulet-Saint-Estèphe in the Charente, a key site in the evolution of French supermarket logistics. This same race against time is played out 24 hours a day. At this Intermarché logistics hub, a highly innovative machine has the specific job of handling just-in-time logistics. Extending over an area of some 15,000 square meters, the equivalent of 2 soccer pitches, this machine considerably reduces processing times for fresh produce. It is known as the sorter.
The sorter enables products to be processed rapidly just in time, so we take deliveries in the morning, then by the evening, everything has left the warehouse.
The sorter is a colossal machine specifically designed for the rapid preparation of fresh produce orders for hypermarkets. Its operation is simple. It registers the goods received from suppliers, then distributes them via a vast network of conveyor belts, according to the orders being prepared.
The full pallets arriving from a range of suppliers are fed into the system, where the sorter divides them up according to the needs of each store. A store may need just 1 pack of yogurt, or maybe 3 to meet demand. So the objective is to distribute the required packages.
It all starts here, at the machine's 12 feeder ports. Every morning, starting at 6 a.m., pallets of a single product are unpacked and fed into the machine in package form.
If we take 4 pots of yogurt, for example, 6 packs of 4 can make a package, which might take many forms. The package gives us a unit of measurement.
When a fresh produce package enters the machine, it is automatically identified using a high-performance technological tool, the tunnel reader.
Packages pass through the tunnel reader, which reads all the barcodes present, and there are a lot.
To identify each barcode, the tunnel is equipped with 5 cameras linked to a set of mirrors, capable of scanning all sides of the package, even when moving at a speed of 6 miles an hour.
A package can have many different labels, some intended for the end consumer, i.e. the checkout in stores, and others linked to the packaging itself, so there may be a multitude of barcodes on the same product. The purpose of the scanner tunnel is to read all the barcodes and determine which is the right one, in order to confirm the identity of the package.
This identification phase takes only a fraction of a second, yet it is of the utmost importance. It enables products to be registered in the computer system.
Our computer system is linked to the machine's computer system and provides it with all this data, meaning that at the start of the day, it knows exactly, by reference, the quantities expected. So every time it receives a package, it sends it to the store that ordered it.
After passing through the tunnel scanner, the products are transported to the picking area. Here again, the sorter has been designed to cope with one of the particular constraints of these products: fragile, flimsy packaging.
Typically, if you shake a jar of fresh cream, it's no longer sellable. It might lose its lid, etc. These products aren't packed well. There's no extra layer of cardboard added. The packaging is only useful for the transport time between producer and store. So the more we reduce packaging, the more we reduce the ecological footprint of logistics.
To route each package, the machine relies on a fast network of automated conveyor belts. And despite moving around at a high speed, they are handled with great delicacy.
The machine gently picks up packages and carries them along. Products aren't thrown around. The conveyor belts move them along before placing them gently on the correct exit ramp leading to one of our stores.
The guide chutes form the final stage of the automated sorting process, completing this impressive system with precision. This is where the packages leave the conveyor belt and head for a specific exit assigned to a particular hypermarket order.
At the bottom of each chute are the products ordered by a particular outlet. This is the dispatching process. If I've bought 200 packages for 200 sales outlet and each has ordered one, then it dispatches 1 package per outlet.
All the products ordered by a hypermarket end up here, at the end of its chute.
It's sorted according to the store. 1 chute per store.
From then on, order pickers like Jalim take over. Their goal is to ensure optimal loading of the red carts. It's a complex task because each package is different.
Looking at the chute, I try to sort by size. By putting, say, all the yogurts together. I put them a little further towards the bottom. Here, I've put the yogurts here, and I try to put everything together that's the same.
This life-size game of Tetris is played in expert mode. And the hardest thing for pickers is to maintain the pace. The volume of orders placed by the 160 sales outlets is such that, to avoid saturation, each cart has to be filled and ready to go in less than 10 minutes.
It's about finding the right rhythm. It's something to get used to. You need to get yourself organized.
In 24 hours, these teams can handle up to 120,000 packages. This know-how, the fruit of an alliance between man and machine, represents a revolution in logistics. It speeds up order picking and almost completely eliminates the risk of errors in goods handling.
The barcode-based system directs the products, and in doing so greatly limits what we might call preparation errors. That's to say moments when an operator might make a mistake. The machine itself does the sorting, meaning our error rates are extremely low, so that we can deliver 100% of the products expected by sales outlets.
But that's not all. The arrival of these new machines has also made work in warehouses less arduous than before.
It greatly reduces drudgery, because people don't have to walk for miles and miles. We have crane elevators that lift products to the height of an employee's arms and torso, so that they only have to move the product sideways, rather than up and down. This greatly reduces drudgery.
Less than 8 hours after their arrival, the 300 tons of fresh produce delivered by suppliers emerge from the sorter in the form of 120,000 packages, ready for dispatch to the 160 supermarkets in the area covered by this warehouse. However, this would not have been possible without the great care taken to protect consumer health and ensuring that the cold chain isn't broken.
The cold chain is vital when it comes to compliance with health regulations. We can't afford, or in fact won't be able, to pass on to sales outlets packages that haven't complied with the cold chain.
All these products are extremely sensitive to temperature variations, which is why they need to be kept at a constant 2 to 3 degrees Celsius, all the way from the supplier to the customer's shopping cart. The slightest deviation could lead to the proliferation of bacteria and trigger a serious food poisoning risk for consumers. An extensive system has been established to monitor and preserve these foods at the correct temperature. The moment the goods are delivered, teams carry out the first health and safety checks.
We make sure that the trucks arriving from suppliers are at the right temperature, as stipulated in the contracts. So inspections are carried out as soon as the goods are delivered, and there's a whole protocol that needs to be followed.
To comply with this protocol, it is essential that the entire fresh produce storage and picking area is also kept at the right temperature. This is a highly complex task, given the colossal volume of the unit, 150,000 cubic meters, the equivalent of 64 Olympic-sized swimming pools. To achieve this, an extraordinary system has been set up, one that can only be observed from an overhead vantage point. Suspended some 15 meters above the heads of the pickers, an ultra-powerful blower system continuously supplies fresh air to this part of the warehouse.
We have a temperature control system with blowers that enables us to maintain the zone at between 2 and 3 degrees Celsius, depending on the parameter adjustment. It runs constantly. The blowers are permanently activated so that we can maintain the right temperature and avoid any problems with the cold chain.
This system is also part of the process for maintaining frozen products at minus 18 degrees Celsius. Because when it comes to consumer health, the stakes are just as high. The upshot is that the wind tunnels must never suffer technical issues, because should they break down, thousands of tons of goods would have to be thrown away.
The system is now constantly monitored, with readings taken every 2 hours to ensure that the warehouse is at the correct temperature. It's something we pay very close attention to because these are large spaces and we can't operate without refrigerated production.
When goods destined for sales outlets leave the warehouse, they are loaded into refrigerated trucks.
The warehouse is at a maximum of 3 degrees Celsius for fresh produce, so the cold chain is never broken. From the refrigerated truck that arrives from the supplier to the delivery trucks we send out, the cold chain is carefully controlled from start to finish.
Less than 12 hours after leaving the sorter, the goods are delivered to the sales outlets. To guarantee compliance with the cold chain, each cart is checked as soon as it arrives at the hypermarket unloading bay.
Deliveries are made every morning at 5 a.m. The truck is unloaded, temperatures are checked, the goods are transferred to the cooled collection area, and then the relevant member of staff picks them up for their department ready to be put on the shelves.
Any fresh produce entering the sales outlet is subjected to the obligatory temperature test. It must never exceed 4 degrees Celsius.
Right now, I'm checking the temperature. It's part of the incoming inspection procedure to check that goods entering the cold room are temperature compliant. I take temperatures at 3 levels, above the most fragile, and then below, to make sure that all products are in compliance.
Every day, over 300 tons of fresh food products are inspected with the utmost rigor to guarantee the highest possible quality for consumers. All these measures are in line with European cold chain regulations that cannot be compromised. It represents a major logistical challenge for supermarkets. In the supermarket industry, each family of products handled by professionals brings its own particular challenges. And one of them stands out for the impressive number of references to be processed. These are what are known as dry goods. Stored at room temperature, foodstuffs such as pasta, cookies, or drinks account for half the volume of goods distributed by supermarkets every day.
Dry goods are those that don't need to be kept in controlled temperatures and can be stored in a kitchen cupboard. They are well packaged and have a long shelf life.
An indispensable part of daily life, these household staples are the subject of extraordinary logistics. The sheer volume of products moved called for intense organization. It's a major challenge, underpinned by the key support provided by machines. We're back at the Intermarché warehouse in Herbré, Brittany. Every year, this supermarket giant ships no fewer than 30 million packages of dry goods to the 170 outlets in its sector. To achieve these figures, the logistics center is equipped with a veritable jewel of engineering, a cutting-edge technological innovation whose installation itself was already quite an accomplishment. Its name is the Automatic Storage System.
Automated systems need to be in place as soon as the warehouse is opened. They are the only logistics facilities in the country where the machine is built first and then covered afterwards. So the roof and the building structure sit on top of the machine.
The completed automated system at the Herbré base occupies an inordinate 28,000 square meters, almost half the size of the warehouse. More than just a machine, it is an enormous series of ultra-high performance robots which coordinate all the order-picking stages for dry goods. And it is capable of processing 160,000 such orders a day.
Automation is used for dry products. That's to say goods with long expiry dates. It means we can store the products and automatically prepare them on our pallets for sales outlets.
Unlike fresh produce, the logistics for dry goods are managed according to storage. In concrete terms, once received, they are not immediately dispatched. They can remain in the warehouse for up to 2 weeks before being sent out for delivery. One reason for opting for such a process is to better manage consumption peaks, which are frequent and difficult to predict.
It's the job of procurement and supply chain experts to anticipate and manage these peaks and variations through stock.
Stock is used to strike a balance between variations in the rate of industrial production and consumer demand.
Inventory management, once carried out manually, did not allow a rapid response to variations in orders. With the advent of automation, this problem has been completely solved.
We can now have, say, 80,000 packages one day, then 160,000 the next. Working on a manual basis, those peaks are very difficult to manage. Recruiting new staff or varying your workforce by 20, 30, or 40% from one day to the next is a complex business, whereas automation gives you a great deal of flexibility.
So how does this revolutionary machine, capable of storing and preparing nearly 160,000 orders a day with almost no human intervention, actually work? It all starts in the unloading area. Today, pallets of a famous soda brand are entering the warehouse. Albin is handling the delivery. He and his team carry out the checks required to incorporate the products into the automated system.
Once the pallet has arrived and the truck is fully unloaded, we enter it into our computer system using the scanner.
Voilà, donc avec le scanner,
I scan the barcodes to identify the merchandise.
pour identifier la marchandise.
Using the pallet's barcode, Albin checks that the quality of packages contained in the load corresponds to the expected order.
Son code,
This
va
code
identifier
identifies the
la
merchandise and the
c'est
quantity.
la quantité. Donc, c'est-à-dire,
That's
par
to
exemple,
say the number of
le nombre de
diapers
colis
and the
par
number per
Donc
package.
là, par exemple,
Here, for
c'est-
example, I have 9 diapers and a total of
et en tout, il y a
189
189
packages.
colis.
Once the quantities have been checked, it's time to verify the condition of the pallet. Because if its integrity has been violated in any way, any ensuing operations could be compromised.
Taking delivery involves checking that the pallet is not damaged in any way, ensuring that the products are present and correct, and that the pallet or products are easily identifiable. This is a visual operation, so the operator will go around the pallet and check its height in relation to the number of packages it is supposed to contain. They also carry out visual checks for the condition of the packages and pallet, as well as the condition of the wrapping.
These checks are essential before the pallet is taken over by the machine and control software, which monitors it in real time. To do this, it must first pass through the feeder ports.
The pallet is then identified before being fed in via a label that can be read throughout the chain. So we can check with each scanner that it's the right pallet, and we can track its every movement, where and for how long it's going to be stored, when it's going to be moved out, when the products are going to be sent to a particular store.
In less than 10 minutes, the pallet is transported via a tangle of conveyors and elevators. Together, these mechanisms are the only way to move pallets that can weigh up to 1.2 tons, the equivalent of a small car.
To move pallets, we have conveyors, elevators, and junction systems to redirect a pallet towards a particular conveyor.
Next, it arrives here, in the heart of the storage area. This immense space, 100 meters long and 35 meters high, the equivalent of a 9-story building, is where all the pallets received from suppliers are stored. The site has a total of 27,000 storage positions. 4 impressive robots, known as trans-stockers, are at work moving pallets to their storage racks. This revolutionary technology navigates the aisles using a system of shuttles. It then collects the products using a mobile stacker crane, capable of transporting the pallets from bottom to top.
These are pretty impressive machines because they're fast, they're very tall, and they lift a lot of weight. Hauling a 1.2-ton pallet up to a height of 35 meters while traveling many, many miles is impressive and requires very special equipment.
These high-performance machines cover up to 40 miles a day, handling the throughput of 1,800 pallets of goods. Once stored in the warehousing area, tens of thousands of products form the stock, ready to supply the hypermarkets in the area. Then, when an order comes in, the computer software can retrieve precisely the item it needs. This new stage is called palletizing.
Palletizing means putting all the packages ordered by a specific sales outlet together on a single pallet.
Here again, automation plays a key role, thanks to unique technology. The pallets are emptied by a machine that removes the packages layer by layer before placing them on conveyors. They are then directed into trays. Once on their little green tray, the products will later be incorporated into hypermarket orders.
An automated system takes pallets delivered by suppliers, stores them, and depalletizes them. In other words, it picks up the packages and sorts them into trays. Then you have hundreds of thousands of trays waiting for the order to arrive. When the order arrives, the robot will call them up, direct them to a palletizing robot, which makes a new pallet.
Placed on the shelves, the packages enter a huge maze of conveyors. A dizzying mechanical ballet leads them to the final machine, the last link in the logistical chain.
The system calls up all the packages for a store's order, so each tray can be placed in the right order for pallet preparation.
In this zone, 14 robots work simultaneously to process and prepare orders. During this final phase, the package must first be removed from the tray.
The trays are perforated for two reasons. The first is for ease of cleaning, if ever a product spills on it and it gets dirty. The second is to easily remove the package from the tray when assembling orders for our outlets.
When assembling an order, a highly innovative robot takes charge. This cutting-edge technology positions packages according to precise criteria. First, it takes into account the fragility of the goods, placing the sturdiest at the bottom to support the most fragile. Finally, it groups products by category to facilitate shelf placement. The use of this automated system makes the pallet filling process particularly efficient.
In other words, an algorithm has been run beforehand, so when called up, the trays arrive in the right order, such that a package is slid from the shelf before being automatically placed in the right position on the store pallet.
This innovative method saves a considerable amount of time and reduces placement errors. Once loaded with all their products, the pallets are filmed and then routed by the automated system to one of the machine's 30 gravity-fed outlets, the long conveyor belts along which the orders glide to their loading zone. Each is assigned to a particular hypermarket. But although highly advanced, this cutting-edge technology needs human support to function properly. Operations are kept running smoothly by the dozens of men and women responsible for the day-to-day maintenance and supervision of this gigantic system.
It's important to understand that behind all these machines are people. The human element is key because an automated system without people doesn't work. It's a far cry from Tintin in America, where beef goes into a factory and comes out the other end as corned beef. Quite the opposite.
Every operation carried out by the automated system is overseen by a human being who adjusts and manages any unforeseen events. To ensure the supervision of all these machines on site, the automation operator's job has developed and expanded.
The automation operator intervenes, for example, when the machine is unable to place a package because it detects some instability, say where the package is tilted a little to one side. Cameras and scanners check the situation and call on the operator to intervene, either by repositioning the package or indicating to the machine that the package is not positioned properly. In such cases, the operator steps in to help the machine.
Isabelle, an automation operator, single-handedly supervises 7 of the 14 robots responsible for preparing hypermarket orders. She intervenes in the event of a machine malfunction. A problem is flagged when a light turns red.
Right now, Robot 9 is experiencing a fault. Apparently, the package is the wrong way round. So, I'm going to need to fix that.
To identify and solve a problem before restarting the machine, Isabelle can examine a 3D rendering of the pallet, displaying all the packages and their positions.
Here, my package is supposed to be positioned lengthwise, but it seems to have been placed widthwise. So, I'm going to put it back.
Without the operators, the robots would fail every couple of hours or so. The machine doesn't work on its own. It needs a human to step in from time to pilot it.
But automation operators are not solely responsible for the smooth running of the system and the order picking for hypermarkets. Out of sight, in a secure area, lies the real brain behind this automated operation, a highly strategic area where the movement of every product in transit is closely scrutinized and where maintenance is ensured. The control room.
The control room is the automation control room. We have all the parameters, including operating parameters. How many incoming pallets? What are the orders for the day? What have the outlets ordered? What technical faults does the machine have? Are there any sticking points? It's a machine with a lot of intersecting flows. So for it to work well, each flow has to run smoothly, otherwise the other stations in the system will grind to a halt.
To guarantee a smooth operation, the control room houses a team dedicated to maintaining the system and supervising the flow of goods. These are the planners. Specially trained for this type of installation, these technicians work around the clock to ensure that each order is perfectly assembled according to hypermarket expectations.
Here, we supervise all the flows, from delivery to storage, from package preparation to pallet dispatch. A range of screens allows us to monitor all the flows. On this side is the order picking, and on the other is shipping and transport. Then we have the general screen, which gives us an overview of the whole system.
In this way, Moussa can follow the goods all the way from arrival to delivery. This method of tracking products in the system offers a major advantage in food logistics, allowing complete and instantaneous traceability of goods. Hence, if a supplier identifies a potential safety problem, the warehouse is alerted and can react immediately by triggering a targeted recall on a specific goods reference. This responsiveness is essential to protect consumer health.
If a supplier has a problem with a recall, for example, say when a product has been banned from sale, this automated operation allows us to block the product with a single click. We can then remove all items immediately and send them back, either to the supplier or for destruction.
The role of the planners doesn't stop at supervising the movement of goods. They also play a crucial role in system maintenance. For these state-of-the-art machines to work perfectly, nothing must be allowed to impede the movement of the products, which is why 8,000 sensors are placed along the entire length to ensure that no obstacle gets caught in the machine's mechanical bearings.
The sensors are very sensitive. They pick up the tiniest obstruction and flag up a fault. Then we have to check what's going on. We have to pay attention to everything so that the system runs smoothly and we can deliver to sales outlets on time.
Thanks to the performance of this state-of-the-art machine and the hard work of a team of men and women, the 170 hypermarkets served by the Herbré Logistics Center never run out of stock. This ultra-efficient system ensures smooth, continuous supply management and guarantees product availability at all times. Finally, the last essential link in the logistics chain that makes all this possible is transport. It is one of the most strategic issues for any supermarket chain. Transporting thousands of tons of goods to geographically distant points, all the while striving to minimize the number of miles covered by trucks to limit both the financial and environmental impact, is a major challenge.
The good thing about logistics is that economic and ecological considerations often go hand in hand. The more precise we can be in filling trucks, limiting their movements, and optimizing travel between sales outlets, the lower our costs will be and the smaller our ecological footprint.
Environmental impact is part of the logistics operation because it manages transport, which, as we know, is one of the main sources of CO2. So by optimizing and improving transport and driving fewer miles to decrease our ecological footprint, we provide a better balance.
To achieve this, the first strategy is to maximize trailer loads.
The aim is to load as many packages as possible onto the truck. Why? Because that way we put fewer trucks on the road and our carbon footprint is kept in check.
To achieve this, it is sometimes necessary to consolidate orders from several hypermarkets into a single truck.
When we talk about bundling, that's to say putting products destined for 2 or more outlets on the same trailer, it's a bit like carpooling, where you have several passengers in the same car so that the expense is shared between several people.
How do you go about loading goods from several hypermarkets onto a single truck? It all starts with meticulous route planning to minimize the number of miles covered and ensure that the target sales outlets are as close as possible to each other. A real logistical headache, orchestrated by a specialized team, known as the trucking managers. At Intermarché, these experts analyze the orders they have to fulfill to optimize their daily delivery schedules.
We receive orders from sales outlets, then analyze each order and the relative location of each outlet to create a delivery round with drop-offs as close together as possible, using trucks that are well loaded.
Guillaume, a trucking manager, is in charge of an area in northwest France. He single-handedly organizes the transport of all orders from the Herbré Logistics Center.
We have 2,911 pallets for tomorrow's delivery. The challenge for me is to limit the number of stops and the distances traveled so that I have the lowest possible mileage.
Thanks to meticulous preparation and the unique expertise of the trucking managers, every delivery to the hypermarkets focuses on speed, economy, and a minimal environmental impact. This work also means the 4 million inhabitants of the Northwest region always find the products they need on the shelves of the chain's outlets. Today, this massive behind-the-scenes logistics operation is still the key to successful goods delivery. And it can only be accomplished thanks to the expertise and dedication of the men and women professionals who ensure that all the products on the market are correctly received, prepared, delivered, and stacked on shelves. This titanic task is carried out in collaboration with the technological arsenal of ultra-high-performance machines and robots designed to meet the complex challenges set by the hypermarket industry. This alliance enables the French brands to fulfill their commitment to meeting the food requirements of the 10 million consumers who pass through the doors of the country's hypermarkets every day.